This is James Mathis with the Digital Cinema Society at NAB 2025. I'm here with Dedo Weigert. That's the Dedo from the famous Dedolights. And what kind of new products are you showing here?
One of the older products that I'm showing is what I call the PB70, parallel beam, 70 centimeters diameter. It still is a very special light because it's the only light on the planet that gives you the illusion of sunlight from very far away. Why? Because amazingly the light does not come from the lighting instrument, but from a virtual light source 60 feet behind the light. That means everybody who's ever heard of filmmaking or photography knows about the square law. When you look at the instrument here, it appears that we're negating or not, the square law is not valid anymore. To give you an example, at 5-meter distance, I have 112,000 lux. You can translate that into foot candle by dividing by 11. Okay, so at 10 meter, we should have a quarter of that, like 23,000. And instead of it, we have 68,000. Yeah? How come? Because it all relates to the virtual light source 60 feet behind the light. And that's the only light that can do this. In other words, for actors, movement, it's not as bad. When you then elongate it going through a reflector and back, you have even more of that effect. And it has a wide reach, and he can show later on that we're now lighting at the end of the hall. Yeah. Now, about a year ago, I would have said they're wonderful and very busy, intelligent Chinese that build 2,400 watt lights, where we have still 3 times the output. Now, you will see a wonderful 5,000 watt light that at 5 meters has a similar output, but once you go on, it's subject, slave of the square law. So, if you want to have infinity lighting, if you want to have the illusion of sunlight, for drama productions, several people who've used it in their dramas wouldn't do without. Then there was a film by this strange name, Heute van Hoytema. He did a film called Ad Astra, and his gaffer Adam Chambers. He tested all the lights to give him the illusion of sunlight from a far distance. Arri 18K, mole beam, Xenotech, everything. That's the only one that does it.
So that looks like an HMI?
It's an HMI, but it's a very special HMI because for many years, HMIs, you unpack them, Osram, Philips, General Electric, they were all different. And now I have very high color values and, amazingly enough, among those also, a very dominant red. How come? It's a daylight fixture. Yeah? So it's perfect color, and it maintains the color throughout a very long lifetime. If you let it run continuously, which nobody ever would do, yeah? But after 300 hours, the output goes a little bit down, but the color stays. After 500 hours, the color is still there. After 700 hours, it's still there. In normal life, this would never happen because people kill it by igniting very often. And everybody these days is accustomed to LEDs, push the button, and it's on. Yeah?
Does it need the hard point source of an HMI to make this work?
The way this can be done is the optics for our zooms, for our parallel beam intensifiers, only work with a very small light source. And a monocolor LED, 80 watt, has 24 chips. Bicolor has 48.
But it gets wider and wider.
An RGB ACL light, you can imagine, has a light source like this. And optics are not functional anymore. They function, but it's not the same. Yeah? And so this is for the people that need to go into virtual production studios, where we can synchronize the multicolor lights to the events on the screen. And you have a color picker, can take one point or one area, synchronize it to one light or a whole group of lights, so that the action area can be identical in color and all the changes that are shown on the screen. But then, if you shoot the Sahara or the beach of Rio, maybe you want a little bit of sun. And that's what we can do. For the smaller productions, we have to move around the corner. This again is an HMI light. And because we have a very small light source, only 6 millimeter distance, we have a focus range of 1 to 20, which is enhanced by 3 movements of the optics. 1, 2, 3, but you still have one button only, the back. So this light also was recognized by the Oscar committee several years back, and it has a focus range of 1 to 20 that no other light has, except the very first dedolight. It had 1 to 25, yeah, because again, very small light source. So optics don't work that way. So this, in its spot position, has a 4-degree exit angle. Now we put this little piece of cooking pot in front, and it's an optical device. And again, we have 4-degree. So what the hell? Yeah? But now we have 500% more light. Yeah? And that is the other way into the world of reflected light. The parallel beam that you can direct at one reflector or several of them and then go on with many more reflectors. There's even a little 40-watt light. It has an LED, which is of course bigger, and when you focus it to spot, it's okay, like a 40-watt LED light in spot. But then you put the same kind of cooking pot in front, little one, and you gain 800% more. So it's not with every light the same. The traditional dedolight will add only 300%. With this one, 500%. With that one, 800%. So if anybody believes in the word ecology or green tech, to light with a 40-watt light, 4 reflectors, with one E-flect for the background, and another 3 reflectors for key light, fill light, backlight. That's light stream light, and those reflectors are as light as a piece of paper. So you can take the whole lighting setup into the cabin of an airplane, and you handbag an extra.
I still have a set of the original Dedo lights, and I love them. And it's really great that you keep on innovating. So thank you, Dedo.
Okay.